What is up, everybody? My name is Tentacle, and I'm back! Finally! Yes, I had to deal with my old PC, unfortunately, biting the dust a few days ago. But luckily, I have a new PC now. And what better way to celebrate my return to YouTube than with my long-awaited Splatoon 3 main weapon tier list? I'm also going to be trying something a little bit different for this tier list video. As you can see, I am all the way on the right here, and the tier list is on the left. This should be an easy way for me to both work on the tier list and see what's going on while I record this on OBS Studio. So let's not waste any more time and get started on this list, shall we? And hold on, before I do, I just remembered I need to create 2 additional tiers away from the rest of this list. And there you have it. I don't outright dislike chargers in Splatoon 3, I'm just terrible with them. There's no two ways about it. I have awful depth perception, and I'm slowly working on learning to steady my aim while firing chargers. I do respect those of you out there who are charger mains. I wish I had half the skills that you have. Now, the undercover Sorelabrella and the foil squeezer, on the other hand, are 2 different beasts. The premise of these weapons is fine as it is. I'd happily put them in B tier and A tier, respectively. There's just one tiny problem with that. The splatter color screen is the biggest nope I've ever noped in a video game. I'm actually going to be working on a special weapon tier list for the Splatoon series not too long after I post this video. I will definitely go into more detail about why I don't like the splatter color screen then. But this tier list is all about the main weapons, and so let's get to work. And just like what happened with Splatoon 2, all of my rankings on this list are going to be from a casual standpoint and not ordered. Rapid Blaster, I can comfortably put in A tier. It's a good blaster, it's just not my favorite one, you know? Rapid Blaster Pro is going to go in B tier. I like to think of B tier as the neutral / I don't really have a solid opinion tier. Now let's see if we can speed through a few of these. Clash and Range Blasters are both S tier. Vanilla Blaster is B tier. Luna Blaster is also B tier. And you know, I'm gonna put the Vanilla Ink Brush in A tier. Even though I've barely used it, I can tell it's a good weapon. The Vanilla Octo Brush, however, is definitely gonna go in S tier. And just a heads up, I'm really sorry if at any point these weapons get cut off in the video. I'm still trying to figure out how to effectively make tier lists and record it via OBS Studio. This is another idea I'm trying. Now then, where was I? Dually Squelchers are S tier, definitely. Glugas are B tier, Splat Dualies are A tier, and Dapples are definitely S tier. There you go, now you guys can actually see the S tier. I'm gonna put Dark Tetra Dualies in A tier, if only because I really want to get to know that weapon better. I played the Dark Tetra Dualies a lot when Splatoon 3 first launched, and I don't know why I stopped. Now then, I'm actually gonna put the Vanilla Carbon Roller in C tier. It's just such a mediocre weapon. Dynamo Roller is S tier, and this brings me to another point. This tier list is current as of the patch that I'm gonna list on screen right now. I must say, if this were a previous patch, the Dynamo Roller would probably be in A tier. Flingza Roller is also S tier. Splat Roller is A tier because it's a very solid defensive weapon. And oh boy, I am definitely putting the Splatana Wiper in S tier. This is one of my favorite weapons in the game. If it weren't for the Vanilla Heavy Splatling and the Heavy Splatling Deco, I would probably be a Vanilla Wiper main. I love this weapon so much. As for the Splatana Stamper, even though it has gotten nerfed into the ground by Nintendo, I still like it. I think it's an A-tier weapon. Oh boy, the Vanilla Undercover Brella. You're a bit of a strange one. I think I'm gonna put the Vanilla Undercover in B tier for now, but I might change my mind later. Splat Brella, though, is definitely going in A tier. Again, alluding to the fact that this is the most current patch, the ink consumption for the Splat Brella recently got buffed, so now it consumes a lot less ink, and it's really good because of that. Tentabrella, let's see. I'm gonna put this in A tier, if only because it's also really close to being in S tier. You know what? Yeah, I'm putting the Tentabrella in S tier. There we go, now you can actually see it. And hey, one good thing about this tier list is, whenever I add more and more weapons, that'll be a good border for me to recognize how far I need to scroll up. Silver Aerospray. S tier. Vanilla Splattershot Pro. A tier. And once again, the Splattershot Jr. is a very strong starting weapon. And a strong weapon for those who are looking for a good shooter to main. That's also going in S tier. Unfortunately, I think the Squeezer, at least the vanilla version, is getting a solid spot in A tier. The ink consumption for the tap shot mode got greatly increased in the latest patch. If this were the pre-patch Squeezer, I would probably put it in S tier. And on that note, the Vanilla 52 gal is definitely going in S tier. Again, a very solid weapon that I like, and I would probably try more if it weren't for the heavy splatlings. 96 gal is A tier, if only because it's a little too slow for its kit. But then again, maybe I just don't really know how to use it that well. I'm not saying it's bad though, it is a good weapon. Vanilla Jet Squelcher is probably B tier. Splattershot is probably A tier. Yeah, it is A tier. The special gauge for the Splattershot recently got reverted back to 200 points, so I think that earned it a good spot in A tier. Splash is also A tier, if I could actually put it there. There we go. The Gray N-Zap and the Vanilla Sploosh are definitely S tier shooters, by the way. The Nozzle Noses. I rarely use these weapons myself, nor have I seen them played very often, at least from my experience. But I'm just gonna put these in B tier for now. Again, this is more like the neutral / I don't really have a solid opinion tier. Bloblobber is S tier, because it's a really good turfing weapon. Tri-Slosher and Sloshing Machine are both in A tier. They're both very solid sloshers. And speaking of which, the vanilla one is gonna go in B tier. Explosher also goes in A tier. And now we're on to the base game Splatlings. The Mini Splatling and the Nautilus, in my opinion, go in A tier. But the other three are definitely going in S tier. They are very solid backline weapons. Fun fact, by the way, I'm actually learning how to use the Hydra Splatling effectively. I started using it during the Handshake versus Fist Bump versus Hug Splatfest, and I popped off with it. Unfortunately, that was on my solo time, so I don't have a good recording of it. But trust me, I am slowly learning how to pop off with the Hydra. The Tri-Stringer and the Reflux are both gonna go in A tier for now, but I might change that. And now it is time for all the other weapons that were added over the course of the game. I'm gonna see if I can speed run through a few of these again. Luna Blaster Neo, S tier. Inkbrush Nouveau is actually gonna go in B tier. I have hated the Inkbrush Nouveau for 2 straight Splatoon games now, and it finally proved itself and got out of C tier. I'm so proud. Dapple's Nouveau, are definitely S tier. I consider these to be one of the best dualies in the game. Carbon Roller Deco is also S tier. Big Swig, I guess I'm gonna put it in B tier. Gold Arrow Spray is definitely S tier, and on that note, I'm gonna be moving the Silver Arrow Spray to A tier. It's more like a high A tier, low S tier for the Silver Arrow Spray, but that's only if I were ordering this tier list. This is not ordered, as I said earlier. The Forge Pro and the Custom Splattershot Jr. are definitely S tier. They are very, very solid shooters. And so is the Tentatech Splattershot. Oh boy, the Vanilla Splattershot Nova. I really wish I could like you, but unfortunately you just earned our second C tier placing. Same with the Slosher Deco, honestly. Now let's see. Zinc Mini Splatling is gonna go in, let's say, B tier. Rapid Blaster Deco and Clash Neo are gonna go in A tier. So let's take care of that now. The Crack-On Roller is also gonna go in A tier. And the 96 Gal Deco is gonna go in S tier. We are speeding through this list now. I love it. Custom Jet Squelcher is gonna go in B tier. Neo Splash is gonna go in A tier, as is the NZAP 89. And the Neo Sploosh is gonna go in B tier, for now. We're back to the nozzle noses. I think I'm gonna put the L3D in A tier. I haven't used it that much personally, but I do like it quite a bit. I think at the end of this, once I've put every weapon in a tier, I'm gonna make any final adjustments and then reveal the final version of the tier list at the very end of the video. Now then, Tri-Slosher Nouveau is definitely S tier. I think this is one of the better support weapons in the game. Rapid Pro Deco is B tier, as is the S-Blast 92, and the Paintbrush is gonna go in A tier. The Custom Dually Squelchers, I think, are gonna go in B tier for now, and the Light Tetra Dualies are also gonna go in B tier for now. I'm sure both of these weapons are good, but in my opinion, they're just alright. Big Swig Express is gonna go in B tier. The Splatana Wiper Deco is gonna go in A tier. And the Tenta Cerellabrella is gonna go in S tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna put that in A tier as well. Anarchy Splattershot Nova. You are a bit of a weird one. I like this weapon, I just can't get used to the really low damage output. So I think this is also gonna go in A tier. Again, I might change it later. The H3 Nozzle Nose D is unfortunately another C tier weapon. It's just so mediocre, you know? I don't think it's very good. Heavy Splatling Deco is S tier, definitely. Octobrush Nouveau is probably... No, it is B tier. Gold Dynamo Roller is A tier. If this were an earlier patch before the Dynamo Rollers got buffed, I would put both of them one tier lower. Cerellabrella, Bloblobber Deco, and Dreadringer are all S tier. These are fantastic weapons that I really want to learn how to play more. Heck, I might even do that in the upcoming Splatfest. Today is Thursday, February 8th, 2024 at the time of this recording, and there's gonna be a Splatfest happening next weekend. It's kind of a lame theme though, it's just for the days of the weekend. So I think I'll take that weekend to just practice weapons that I've been wanting to practice for a long time and never had the chance to. Now let's see, we got a few more to go. Sloshing Machine Neo is B tier. Ballpoint Nouveau is A tier. Heavy Edit Splatling is S tier. Inkline Tri-Stringer, this is a weird one, but I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. Actually, you know what? No, C tier. I'm sorry, but I don't like the Inkline Tri-Stringer at all. I much rather prefer the vanilla one. We got 6 more weapons. Let's see if I can speedrun these. Custom Blaster, A tier. S-Blast 91, S tier. Paintbrush Nouveau, also S tier. N-Parry Splat Dualies are also S tier again. Neo Splatana Stamper, or Splatana Stamper Nouveau, whatever you want to call it, that's also A tier. And the Reflux Deco is B tier. Now, I'm gonna take a moment to make any final changes, and I will reveal to you the final version of this tier list. Okay, so, hi guys, it's me again. It turns out there were some changes to the tier list that I forgot to make until after I finished recording this video. I'm really sorry that happened, so here are the individual tiers for the real final version of this main weapon tier list. What parts of the list do you agree or disagree with? What changes would you make? Let me know in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, this is Tentacle signing out. Take care, everybody.